How do you determine your value, and is what you're doing worth it? Each person determines value differently. So if you're buying a product and that product delivers a result, what's the value that you pay for that? Let's say the product that you're buying is, let's say, an online course or a university program. Let's say it's a university program and you're paying $30,000 to get it. So say you're a graphic designer and you paid $30,000 to become a graphic designer. And now you're getting a salary of $60,000 a year. So is that worth it? Yeah, of course it is. That would determine the value. Because if you think about it, university, you're paying for all the teachers, you're paying for the environment, you're paying for the school, you're paying for the electricity bills and the gas bills and the water and the whole facility. So now let's say you want to upgrade your skills. You're still a graphic designer and you want to upgrade that to become a graphic designer for business, like a freelancer. So you decide to take an online course, and the course costs $20,000, and it allows you to learn how to make $5,000 per proposal. And let's say these $5,000 graphic design proposals, you could deliver one every week. So 5,000 times 52 weeks. Okay, let's say 42 weeks because you want to take 10 weeks off. That's $210,000 of revenue that you're now going to get after you take this course. So would you say that $20,000 was worth it for the course? Of course it is. So let's say now you're taking a cryptocurrency trading course, let's say the 2% theory, and let's say that you're making $70,000 a year right now, and you have $10,000 in savings in your bank right now. Okay, so you're taking the course and then you're learning how to win trades, you're learning how to not lose trades, you get better and better at trading, you learn a few strategies, a lot of tips, and you're like, wow, I'm getting really good at this. So at first, maybe you're making like $200 a day, and then all of a sudden you're making $2,000 a day, and eventually after a few months you're making $9,000 a day, all from the info you're learning from this course, right? Now, how much would you pay to learn something that's going to teach you how to make $9,000 a day? So let's say the first year you took your $10,000 of savings and you've increased your revenue from $70,000 a year to $700,000 a year. So how much would you pay for something like that? Probably $100,000, right? So who determines value here? Some people would probably pay even more than $100,000, and some people might pay less than $100,000. But I know that if somebody told me that they could increase my salary from $70,000 a year to $700,000 a year, I would pay a lot of money to do that. Because here's the thing, value comes proportionate with the results. So I watched a documentary about the healthcare in the States, and this doctor goes, okay, let's say you had an accident and you cut off two fingers, these two fingers with a lawnmower. And then the doctor says, okay, if I want to sew back this finger for you, it's going to cost you $60,000. And if I sew back this finger for you, then it's $20,000. So which one are you going to choose? So all of a sudden, the finger has value. This one's worth 60, this one's worth 20. What do you choose? I think the documentary is called Sicko, but whatever it is, it was a long time ago, but I remember that. It's like, wow, they put value on the fingers like that. So how much do you value your health and your body? It's same with heart surgery. They could charge a lot because, I mean, it's your heart. Okay, so let me give you another example. Let's say hockey lessons for your kid. How valuable would you think that is? Is it like, what, $200 a lesson, plus you have to get skates, you have to get equipment, a jacket, pants, everything, and plus maintenance for the skates, whatever. So it costs a lot of money, but is it worth it, right? The father of a hockey player was my old teacher for programming, and his son was Valery Yashin, who, by the way, makes $3 million a year. So do you think that it was worth it for him to put him into hockey lessons? Of course it was. Was it expensive? Of course it was. But now he's making $3 million a year. So how much do you think that kid values the hockey lesson? A lot, right? So you can't say if something is valuable or not. You can't tell people what the value of something is. Each person actually determines value differently. So you can't sit there and be like, hey, I don't think this is worth this much or that much, because you might not think it's worth it, but somebody else might think it's worth it, right? So who determines value? It's the person, and it depends on what the result is. So let's say you have an online course and you want to price it at a certain price point. You know, maybe you could price your course at $10,000. Maybe you could price it at $200. Maybe you could price it at $3,000. Universities price them quite high. Colleges price them quite high. So, you know what I mean? It just depends. What are you going to get out of it? What are you going to get out of it is the question. So that's how you determine the value. So I myself am the creator of the 2% theory. And I get this question a lot. Like some people would say, oh my God, this is like so good and so crazy. And I have like a ton of really good testimonials. And then once in a while,
when they say your class is expensive. Okay, when people say that, it's actually not because they find it too expensive at all. It's that they don't see the value in it. Because to the right person, that product is life-changing. One technique inside the class can change the trajectory of their whole life. A money-making technique. Imagine after they take the class, they're making 10 times the amount that they paid for it. Then in that case, it's an amazing investment. Compare it to university, for example, where you have to spend sometimes $50,000, sometimes $100,000, and 4 years of university of your time. Or maybe you want a faster class. So then let's compare it to something like hairdressing school. It's a bit faster than university, and your investment is $5,000 in your education to become a hairdresser. You end up with a salary, and you need to stand all day. Your income is limited by the number of clients you service. With crypto trading, for example, the 2% theory, there are no limits to how much money you could make because you're not limited by the hours. The money starts making itself eventually. So the money is actually unlimited. So the value you get from something, you have to look at the results. With the 2% theory, you're learning a high income skill. Your income grows. So unlike a salary where your income is the same every year, with income trading, your income grows every year and it could be unlimited. Some people have made their investment back in 3 weeks. Some people have made it back in a few months. Some people say it's the best investment they've ever made. So value is really determined if you're the right person or not.
Because think about it, right? If an online course provides unlimited support, that takes a long time. If the online course provides unlimited updates, that takes a long time. So if you have a business that constantly has to hire people or have employees, and you know what I mean, you have to determine the value of what you're selling as well. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I wanted to buy something for this car so you could like see where I'm going, and it has like suction cups or something on top of the car. If I bought a pretty cheap one and it flies off and it breaks a $5,000 camera, I'll be pretty mad. So like sometimes I want to pay more for something of better quality than just get something cheap and the quality won't be as good. So I want to see the result. If it's going to stick to my car, I rather pay more for the result than just buy it cheaply and like kind of have a result. Oh, well, it lasted for a couple seconds, better than nothing. It's like, my camera's broken now, so thanks for that. You know what I mean? I rather just go with the expensive one and it's better value for me. So yeah, anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll end it here. I'm just kind of starting my YouTube channel again, as you've seen. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will make more content. And you could find me over at Loving Not Working on Instagram. And I'll see you soon. Bye.